There are 3 types of imprints that your being receives, and you should know about them because their mutual interaction creates your life experience. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Salow, and I help light workers and starseeds to remember who they are. So I want to share with you those 3 imprints, those 3 different designs that will help you to actually understand why you maybe experience certain challenges, and it maybe will help you to shift your perception of them so that you can truly align with the highest design. So let's begin. So the first design is the design by God. I also call it the original blueprint, and this is that white pristine light. It's the essence of who you are. It's the design that God has in his mind for you, and it's very stable. This design doesn't go anywhere. It stays during all those incarnations, during all those descension and ascension cycles. It's still the same. This is what makes you unique. It's that essence that only you can express in a certain way that no one else can. And this design by God slowly and gently influences those experiences that you have in different lifetimes. It's that light behind everything that's being lived through and experienced. It's like behind the scenes, but it's always there, always shining. And so this design by God is like your unique expression of yourself. It's that one aspect of God that you only know how to embody, express during all those lifetimes. It's like that northern star, the priority that you always have your focus on in everything that you do. It's the truth of who you are. And when you unlock it, you shine like a diamond besides other diamonds. But each of those diamonds shine with different intensity and reflecting a different spectrum of light. And when you put all those diamonds together, we create a beautiful masterpiece. Then we have the personality. This is the lower imprint. So when we have the design by God, we have that initial impulse, that intention, that aspect of source that we share with source. But then as we go through those different lifetimes, we start to develop our own personality. We start to individualize ourselves. Maybe you develop a very good sense of humor over those lifetimes, or maybe you tap into your inner purity. Maybe you become super peaceful. Maybe you like certain things, you have very strange hobbies. All of these things and more is tied to your personality. And this personality is something that we wanted to develop. It's a very good thing. It's not like a negative ego or anything. This is a very divine thing. We want to have it. And actually the soul initially in the first certain number of lifetimes doesn't have any specific personality. Why? Because when we come from source, we don't have any specific coloring. We are all the same. We are identical. But then as the soul, experiences all kinds of stuff, you start to develop your character. You start to develop your sense of I. This is me. Your personality. And when this happens, this is celebrated because this is what we wanted to achieve. That personality is good, and it's very much tied to your soul. And so through your personality, you also can gather so-called karma. What it means is that something has not been brought back into balance. As we have duality, the light and dark, we always need to find that common neutral path, that middle pillar. And when it doesn't happen, we need to rebalance those energies. So we develop that karma that we bring into our third imprint, which is the conditioning. It's the traditional conditioning that we receive from our family and from the society. You choose your parents based on your soul, based on your personality, based on this karma, based on those things that you have not processed. Based on this, you choose a perfect family that will help you to develop certain characteristics that are still a little bit, could be much better, that are maybe not developed so strongly, or you haven't mastered certain lessons. So you are born into a specific family lineage where those people, those souls, have been also developing and cultivating the same aspects. And that karma can be experienced negatively when we are in resistance to what we didn't master in different lifetimes, or it can be also experienced positively when you face it and it makes you stronger. But also your parents, of course, bring you many positive aspects. They also give you the tools to transmuting your karma. They show you, how to do it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe your mom was very tough on you, but she was a very strong person, and that's a good thing. So you can learn from her how to be a strong person as an adult. So there's always like something positive helping you, and then something negative that you have to transmute, and that's tied to that personality. It's tied to the soul. It's the soul choosing the details of your family and to which society you are born, the time in the history, and all those things. Because these are the things that will add to that beautiful gem that your soul is cultivating over those lifetimes. It adds to that personality. Because in the end, you want to say, this is who I am. I've been through all those lifetimes. I've been through all those dimensions. And this is what I have learned. And no one can take it away from me. It's part of my lessons. It's part of who I am. And this is what we are developing. And now, when that conditioning gets too heavy or gets too real, I invite you to shift your perception. Let's say that your parents are keeping you small unconsciously. Let's say that your parents never fully supported you. You needed to hide your true self, and you didn't maybe experience it so positively. Maybe it crushed you. Their subconscious belief could have been that they wanted to keep you safe. So when you play small, when you stay little, when you don't stand out, you are safe. And it was their only way how to keep you safe based on their own conditioning that they haven't transformed yet. That's that family karma that is tied to your individual soul's karma. But if you realize that this is their conditioning, it's their perception of reality, and mostly it's something that they chose to experience, you can let them do their stuff and respect it and acknowledge it. And at the same time, you can make the design by God more important than the conditioning. So let's say that you feel you are here to help other people. Let's say that you are some type of a healer. And when you have this conditioning from family and society, you may feel like you cannot do it. People will judge you. You try to avoid negative experiences. You have many fears blocking you. But if you tap into your heart, you can feel the design by God. You know exactly what you have to do, why you are here. It's there, you cannot deny it. You know it's the truth. And so you answer mostly to God while respecting everyone else in the creation. But that's your northern star. And so you make that design by God more important than the conditioning. When this happens, you are actually able to transmute that conditioning, and your soul, your personality, the second level of imprinting, becomes stronger, richer, and then the soul can move on to different experiences. Usually when it comes to that conditioning, what I have seen in many years working with lots of people is that you have to basically let it go. You have to step into your power around those things. It's not something you have to suffer through forever and be stuck in many life cycles for thousands of years. You just have to let it go. You have to release it, but truly let it go. Like from your being, you need to find some kind of acceptance and understanding of what is happening and why, and then you let it go. An example of it could be karmic relationships. Many times people are stuck together and they believe that the lesson is to make that karmic relationship work, which definitely is the case. It has many lessons and you should always learn to, read those lessons and integrate them. But many times the lesson is to choose yourself and leave, and that's it. When you do it, you will no longer be attracted to other karmic people. So it depends, you have to see what is the lesson, depends on the situation. But what is important that you keep that design by God sacred. You keep it in your heart. It's your northern star. That's where you are headed. That's the priority. That's what God wanted you to experience, and you make it more important than any limitations that your soul needs to experience here, because you need to understand how to stay in your power. So it's a gentle balance between those three imprints. But if you are stuck in some kind of heavy conditioning, this may help you to keep it in mind, tap into the truth within your heart. Understand that it's not that reality with capital R and it's unchangeable, because that conditioning is always relative. But the design by God is stable, it doesn't change. It's the truth of who you are. So which one do you choose? So now let me know in the comments below, do you know you're designed by God? Do you know what's the heart of your essence? I will be very happy to read your comments, because honestly, when I'm reading your comments, I'm just always like, it's a mind-blowing experience for me sometimes, because you share so beautiful experiences, so deep experiences, and I read your comments, even if I don't reply always, but I read them all, and I really appreciate you communicating with me in this way. So let me know, do you know your original blueprint? Do you know you're designed by God? And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much, and see you next time.